This is the Roadhog Rework. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. So, you're probably looking at this graphic going, it's just one ability. It's Pigpen. Okay, well, this graphic is actually terrible. It doesn't show you what is actually changing with Roadhog. I mean, if you read this, you go, okay, scrap gun, short range, spread weapon with medium range shrapnel volley. That's what it is at the moment, right? But actually, it doesn't no longer have an alternate fire. That happens on its primary fire. But I've got the details and I'll show you those in a second. The ultimate whole hog, damage and knock back enemies in front of you. That's the same. Pigpen, this is a brand new ability. Launch a trap that slows and damages nearby enemies. Okay, sounds like Junkrat's trap, but maybe bigger. Anyway, chain hook, drag a targeted enemy to you and take a breather, heal yourself and reduce damage taken. That's the same as it was before. It's not though. These abilities have been radically changed. This image is going to confuse loads of people. So let me show you the actual details of the rework. So this is taken from Six's stream in which he is interviewing the lead hero designer for Overwatch 2. And actually, they've got the stats over here, so we can break it down. So let's begin with Scrap Gun. This is the primary fire. Now, there is no secondary fire. All you have got is primary fire, but it basically combines the old primary and secondary fire. So obviously, you know, we know with Roadhog, you'd be looking for the alternate fire to try and land that sweet spot sort of headshot, like to instantly kill a Tracer or somebody like that. You know, it was possible. Or you maybe were pushing a Reinhardt at range or trying to take out a barrier. But then you're obviously your primary fire if you're using it point blank range. Anyway, that's now gone. So these are the details. Previous secondary fire functionality has been removed. Total damage per shot increased from 150 to 160. Shotgun pellet count reduced from 25 to 16. Shotgun pellet damage increased from 6 to 6.25. Now, this is the key thing. Fires a shrapnel volley of 4 large projectiles in the center of the shot. Each shrapnel projectile deals 15 damage. Critical damage multiplier reduced from ×2 to 1.5 or times 1.5. Now, the thing here is, I'll read this line again. Each now fires a shrapnel volley of 4 large projectiles in the center of the shot. No longer is this exploding like it used to do with Roadhog, where you had that sort of, you know, like I said, you're trying to hit that sweet spot at a sort of close medium range to make the detonation hit just before it hits a target. That's gone. Now you're just firing 4 big bits of shrapnel out of the middle of your primary fire. So in theory, this should make him a lot easier to do quite a lot of damage with. Now, the thing with this is, obviously, we've not played it, so we don't know what this is going to look like, but the Roadhog rework should be coming out like imminently, so we will get a chance to check this out. But I don't know, what do you guys think about that? The scrap gun change? I mean, I think that's like okay. It's fine, right? I don't know, it's not blowing me away. Okay, let's talk about Take a Breather, because this is a massive change. This is turning Roadhog into a tank with a absolute shed load of sustainability, it looks like. So now remember the image I showed you at the top of the video. It just said, take a breather, heal yourself and reduce damage taken. But that's not the full story, because this is what it does. It's now activated by holding secondary fire. So take a breather is your secondary fire. Now, I think the reason they've done this is it's your defensive ability. It's like Sigma throwing his shield out, Reinhardt deploying his barrier. It's that kind of thing, right? So I can get what they're going for here. Obviously, you could just rebind this to whatever you wanted. Now, the cooldown for each use decreased from 8 seconds to 1. That is massive, because that means you can just keep using you can decide to vape, then drop it, decide to vape, then drop it, vape, then drop it. But the thing is, vape has now got a charge. It isn't just you activate the ability and you do the full vape, because you got to remember, old vape, you know, there's a lot of times you only needed a bit of a heal, but you'd vape and you'd blast through loads of the vape that you didn't even need. You were overhealed effectively, and then you were on cooldown for 8 seconds. Now it's only on a 1 second cooldown, and it also has a resource meter. So the next line says the new resource meter has been added. This meter will deplete while Take a Breather is active and then recharge when not in use. So that's pretty standard. Take a Breather requires 12 seconds to reach full charge from empty. So this is kind of like D.Va's defense matrix, really. At full charge, Take a Breather can heal up to 450 health over 3 seconds. So that's a rapid heal, that is. You're taking a ton of damage. You can, in 3 seconds, add 450 health back to yourself. I mean, that's going to make you very tanky, that is. Take a breather will now remain active as long as its assigned hotkey is held, so you have to hold down the key, but also, or press the button in, there is going to be toggle take a breather. It's been added under controls and Roadhog, so obviously you could just, toggle it on and off if you wanted to. But I think I'd keep it to the reactionary one, to be honest. You want to be holding the button down when you want to use this, I think. Damage reduction, though, has been decreased from 50 to 30%, which I think makes sense given how massive the healing now is off this, and it no longer amplifies healing received upon ending. So the critical thing with this is it's not an AoE heal. It doesn't heal your team around you. If it did, it'd be just absolutely broken, and you'd go into some sort of crazed goats reborn or something. Remember Junker Queen? She was stupidly OP with this. Well, we didn't obviously have that, but when she had a ridiculous... I mean, Junker Queen was just so OP when she launched. Anyway, it's not about Junker Queen. This is about Roadhog. So I think this is the big takeaway here. This take a breather means that suddenly Roadhog can run in and take space. Roadhog is like, yeah, he's probably still going to be a bit of an ult battery. But the funny thing is, you compare him to Mauga. Mauga just literally eats the damage, and he has to do damage to try and heal himself back, whereas Hog can just eat the damage but then heal himself. So I don't know. I think they've made Mauga the new Roadhog, which is mental. So that's take a breather. Now let's move on to Pigpen. This is the brand new ability. I was hoping for a chainsaw. Roadhog's got voice lines talking about a chainsaw. But I wanted him to just chainsaw people, but no. He's basically got a big Junkrat trap, which I guess makes sense because, they're Junkers. Maybe Junkrat's made it for him. I don't know. Anyway, this is the this is the way it works. So this is a new ability assigned to ability 2 by default. Launch a trap that slows and damages nearby enemies. Now, what is not said here is actually this trap, when you throw it down onto the ground, you can destroy it. So it is like a Junkrat trap. When it's on the ground, you can destroy it, but Roadhog can trigger it. And if Roadhog triggers it, it then cannot be destroyed. But for 3 seconds, it'll do its thing. And this is what it does for 3 seconds. It deals 60 damage when it's triggered, so 60 damage immediately, and then 30 damage per second in an area. Now, this is like this feels like a better version of Ravenous Vortex from Ramatra. Obviously, you throw that and it instantly deploys. And the thing with that is it pulls aerial units down to the ground. But really, does it get used for that often? I don't know. You're generally just throwing it round corners. That's what you'll do with Pigpen. You'll throw it round corners, but it's actually going to do more damage and it slows enemies. So it's got a 3-second duration while it's active and a 40% movement speed slow. Now, what is critical with this, it isn't a stun. It locks you in the trap. You can still run away from the trap, but in the radius of the trap, you will be slowed by 40%. So if you're using movement abilities, you should be able to get out of the trap. Like if you're in the trap, oh no, and your Tracer, yeah, blink away, or your Genji dash away. That's still going to be possible, I believe. And obviously, Mauga can charge through it because he's not affected by any slows or crowd control when he uses his charge, if you're going to use Mauga. And the cooldown is 12 seconds. So that's all the details we've got at the moment for this Roadhog rework. We are waiting for this to hit the servers. It'll probably be out tomorrow if you're watching this video the day it went live. So we're expected to go out on Tuesday the 14th with maybe some other changes. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think this makes Roadhog a lot better as a tank. I feel like it's a bit of a safe rework. It's not a crazy rework. If you look at this, you're not going to go, oh my god, this looks insane. It's like, yeah, you've made him more tankier with Take a Breather. His primary fire looks like a pretty interesting change on paper. And Pigpen, yeah, you can sort of control corners with this. Obviously, you could throw this down in a fight and you could chain hook somebody into it. I mean, that's a little combo that Roadhog's going to have now. But I think what the devs were trying to go for here is get rid of his whole one-shot combo and Hog, oh, he just hooks me and then I die. Obviously, that's not been the case for a while now, but he has felt very limp, and he's honestly been the worst tank in the game since Mauga. But he's been the worst tank in the game for a long, long time, so it did need looking at. I don't know. I don't want to say this is a bad rework, because I don't think it is. And obviously, I've not played it, so how the hell can I even really comment on it? But based off what I've read, I think this actually is going to be fairly decent. This is going to make Roadhog, I think, a lot better to play as a tank. But anyone who's playing him as some sort of flanker trying to hook people out of positions, that gameplay style is now gone. But that never really existed in Overwatch 2, I don't think. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening and watching to the video. Let me know what you think about this, because I think people... I want to know if you're a hog player as well. Like, I'm not the biggest hog player, just because when I play tank, I want to play a hero that is actually tanking and taking space. And that seems to be the goal here for Roadhog, is to make him tank and take space. So this puts him sort of into my ballpark a bit more. When I'm looking at tanks, I'm like, you know what? I either play a dive tank or I play a tank that gets and controls space, but Hog isn't either of those. But now he might be. This could be a big, big change. All right, I'm going to leave the video at that. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And do like the video if you really did enjoy the video. And subscribe to the channel for more Overwatch content. And as ever, I'll do my best to keep everybody up to date. Thank you again. I'll catch you on the next one. See you soon.